very long football weekend comes to a close with the Monday Night Football battle between the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys. Both teams get additional rest while the majority of the league plays on a short week. The Cowboys are laying a touchdown here, which is about the same line they were asked to cover against Tampa Bay last week. The Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys have been in the playoffs in the same season just once in this century back in 2014. Neither team won its respective playoff game, and the Lions haven't won a playoff game since the 1991 season, when they ironically beat the Dallas Cowboys in the divisional round. With a win and a loss by Green Bay this week, the Lions will be in. Otherwise, their Week 17 game at Ford Field against the Green Bay Packers is for the NFC North title. The Lions are 9-5 straight up and around 500 against the spread. Matt Stafford is dealing with an injury on his throwing hand after banging it on a helmet in the win over the Bears 2 weeks ago. He is getting 2 straight games indoors to finish the season. It was pretty clear that the glove and the grip was a problem on the road at the Meadowlands, but he has 2 good spots left on the schedule. Stafford has completed over 66% of his tosses with a 22-8 touchdown interception ratio this season. With no semblance of a running game to help, Stafford has dropped back a lot this season, and he has been very effective with the offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter calling the shots. Eric Ebron has become a legitimate weapon at the tight end position with 47 catches, and Golden Tate and Marvin Jones are both having big seasons. Opposing quarterbacks are completing 68.4% of their passes against this Dallas secondary, so that bodes well for Stafford in this game. On the defensive side of the ball, the Lions are getting healthier at the right time, although Darius Slay's status is very much questionable for this game. The Lions cannot afford to lose any bodies in the secondary, especially their best cover corner. This is defense that has allowed over 70% of passes against to be completed. The actual number is 72.8%, which is far and away the worst mark in the NFL. The absence of a pass rush has been a driving factor, as the Lions only have 24 sacks in 14 games. Detroit is in the middle of the pack in terms of stopping the run, but they've played quite a few teams that cannot run the football, and nobody can run the pigskin quite like the Dallas Cowboys. Detroit's opponents have averaged 25 carries for 100 yards in all games this season. They've rushed for 4.2 yards per carry on the Lions, so that's a negative side heading into this one. The Dallas Cowboys have a playoff spot locked up and need just one more win for the NFC East and home field advantage. The Cowboys can get an NFC East crown and the number 1 seed with a win, but they have already clinched a playoff berth. They are 12-2 straight up and 9-5 against the spread, with 4 straight against the spread losses. The Cowboys got back in the win column on Sunday Night Football with a victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was not a great performance, but it was an important one for the Cowboys. Dak Prescott looked much better than he did against the Giants, and Ezekiel Elliott kept on rolling. The fact that we're not hearing too much about Tony Romo this week is a great thing for Dallas, because the focus is back where it should be. This is a team gearing up for the playoffs. Ezekiel Elliott has been fed 310 times for 1,551 yards and 13 touchdowns. He has 5 yards per carry in his rookie season. Dak Prescott has a 20-4 touchdown interception ratio and has completed nearly 68% of his throws. People probably do not realize this, but the Cowboys have 433 pass attempts against 448 rushing attempts. Considering 52 belong to Prescott and most are not designed runs, the Cowboys have some pretty impressive balance offensively this season. The defense is the concern moving forward, and it is undoubtedly a concern here in this game. Dallas defensive backs have given up the 5th most yards in the NFL. Just think about if this Cowboys defense was above average and was forcing turnovers at a higher clip. They would be virtually unstoppable. Alas, the defense has had its share of issues defending the opposition's aerial attack. They have gotten better against the run, especially with a healthy Sean Lee, but that 68.4% completion percentage against is a lot to ignore. The opposition is throwing for nearly 265 yards per game, which is a bit above Matthew Stafford's usual output. The total on this game appears to be way too low. Neither team pushes the pace, but neither defense is any good. The Lions defense has gotten better, but the potential absence of Darius Slay would open up a lot of things for Dallas. Matthew Stafford will have to maximize his possessions against this ball control offense, so the Lions probably won't even attempt to force the run. Grab this one now because public money is sure to drive the number up. As far as a side play goes, Stafford has some extra time to rest his hand, so he should be effective enough to keep the Lions within the number at 7 points or higher. Our pick and prediction for this game is to take the over 43.5 points and go with the Detroit Lions at +7. For our pick and prediction on this game and every other game this week, and a wealth of free stats and information, check out bangthebook.com.